I gotta say, I've lived in this town a long time. I heard someone somewhere say, "Go west, young man," and so I went west because I was a young man.
There's nothing like living out west. It's just a beautiful place to grow up.
All the folks in town seem to really like where they live, but I don't see why. I like to live in a big city like Lubbock or Mesquite.
My Felipe was so excited to go west, where he can set up shop and help the townspeople.
And it was a quiet, it was a peaceful place. Weren't much going on, weren't much trouble. And yet it all changed one day. And it all started when one day he showed up.
I've been driving stagecoach for 20 years now around this town, and I can't believe what I'm seeing. There's nothing like this guy. He's as bad can be.
He walked into town, and the first place that he went was our saloon. Now I know what you're thinking, but we're not that kind of saloon. We don't even have ginger ale. We don't have root beer. All we have is milk and imported orange juice. Well, he walked in. He acted like he owned the place, or at least like he'd been renting for a long time. We're rule followers here. And if you're going to be a rule follower, you got to follow the rules. And the first of our rules is that you got to respect and obey all authority. Well, I think our sheriff is one of the most authoritative authorities I know.
I knew things were about to get interesting.
So we knew right away that there was a problem in town. I mean, for the sheriff to be disrespected like that.
I didn't think it was all that bad, what they did to him. He just looked like a bowl of cereal.
If truth be told, I was a little disappointed with our sheriff. Now, I know what happened to him was real bad, but if that would have happened to me, man, this store would have been over. There would have been a smackdown. We would have had it out right then and there. He would have caught some of these cuffs. I would have given him one of these. You know, you mess with the bull, you get the horn.
We're a small town, and it's important to us that we're able to be connected with the outside world. And so it's important for us that the U.S. Postal Service is able to carry on.
But yeah, I get up at around 5, and we get started, get the ponies out, and we put the rope around them, and we get out on the open trails, and we take those letters from place to place.
And yet, this creature, he walks in as casual as you please, and he says to himself, "I'm gonna mess with the mail system."
I encountered him, and it wasn't a fair fight from the beginning. He caught me by surprise. There was nothing I could do. I fought him as hard as I can possibly fight him. I did everything I could to stop him. The whole time I was fighting him, I realized he must not have read the town rules, because rule number 2 is obviously no stealing.
Our coach driver talks a big old game. He talks like he's a veritable grizzly bear of a man. But really, I think if you were to see him in his proper light, he is a good-hearted but weak little prairie dog.
This wanted poster they have on my Felipe, it doesn't even look like him. And if it was my Felipe, $15,000 wouldn't be enough.
Well, at this point, we were plumb out of ideas. There was no way to rehabilitate a creature like this. We did the only thing we knew how to do. We convened a jury and summarily sentenced him to death by hanging.
You know, it's been quite a while since we had a hanging around here. I'm quite excited to see it.
the noose, the necktie of justice had come home. We asked him about it. We said, Thursday work for you? And he said, yes, it does. And he decided not to show up. He was late. He had a lack of respect for our time and for our schedules, which was the most serious for us because it goes against one of our rules. Be punctual to all events. He was the star of this event, more or less, and he couldn't even show up on time.
I was there for the hanging, but I didn't care much. I was thinking about dinner. And when he didn't show, that's when I knew I didn't like him. I missed my dinner for that.
Well, we started looking for him. We didn't have any hard and fast information to go on. But later I heard rumors that he had been breaking one of the rules. He was alone by himself in an isolated area. No accountability, no other eyes on him. It's all by his lonesome. He was hanging out when he should have been hanging.
Then one day I pulled up my stagecoach to my normal stagecoach parking spot, and there were two of them boys.
To be completely honest, I don't know that I was prepared for what I saw, but I saw it. There was not one, but there were two of these creatures.
I stepped outside and noticed we had ourselves a good old-fashioned showdown.
After our outlaw turned out to be Filipe the Kid, I called this one Filipe the Man. He had a moral code. He was ready to protect the lives of the innocent. But Filipe the Man was in the midst of an ethical quandary torn betwixt two options, because he knew the rule that there are to be not a single weapon brought, used, or utilized within the borders of this here event. But he said, you know what, I will fight with the strength of my moral character, come what may. And for that, he will always have my respect.
He needed some help, and I was the only one there to help him.
Felipe's uncle taught him everything he needs to know about roping. Why his uncle is a professional and teaches other people how to be cowboys.
Well, in the end, our town was saved. This riff-raff rabble that had been running around riotously and recklessly. This Filipe the Kid, put behind bars. To be completely truthful, I'm ashamed that I ever thought Filipe the Man was the same creature of kind whatsoever as this other outlaw. And yet, at the end of the day, peace and harmony reigned over our tiny sliver of paradise in an undefined state in the west of good old USA.